So here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Be Real, Get Real with Women's Prosperity Network. I'm so glad that you're taking a few minutes for yourself because this conversation is going to make a big difference for you in your life, how you are, who you are being, and what you get, what you do, and who you get to be. And really, be real, get real. You're familiar with this. We do this every week at Women's Prosperity Network, and we get to know the person behind the business because we don't do business with businesses. We do business with people. Whether you're going to the bank and you see the same teller at the drive-thru, and eventually you get to learn her name and you wave, or you go to the grocery store and the person who's at the cashier is Susan, who you've been seeing for years and years. It's the people we do business with. And that's what Be Real is about, is getting to know the people behind the business. And today, my guest is an amazing rock star. Camille Leon is the founder and CEO of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. You've all heard of it. I talk about it all the time. I suggest you join it, and I still do. The Holistic Chamber of Commerce is where holistic practitioners and those who serve them come together as a force for holistic methodologies, holistic tools, so that the whole person is being taken care of. And with the Holistic Chamber, the world can see how many of us there are. Camille is also an author. Her latest book is Fresh Starts, Transformation in Action, was published a couple of years ago. She is also an artist. She specializes in custom paintings based on individual color preferences. When she's not painting or talking about the Holistic Chamber or the holistic approaches to life, she's dancing and singing behind the scenes. She already... in the recesses of her mind. Camille is so good at living in the recesses of her mind. She sees herself living with Brad Pitt and loving her rock star lifestyle. I am so excited to invite Camille Leon to the stage, my rock star holistic friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to see you today.
I'm really good. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. And what you are doing for holistic practitioners, what you are doing to show the world that there are more of us than you think, right? We all think medical doctors, Western medicine, but honestly, there are thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who are taking Western traditional medicine and Eastern traditional medicine and bringing them together. And Camille, how on earth did you ever get the call to create this amazing organization?
There were a lot of steps from the beginning to when it manifested. But really, the early call was just like I was broken. My life was painful, right? I had 2 ex-husbands. I had no kids. I just wasn't happy. And I was making, in my personal life, I was making.
I think it's Camille who froze. I hope it's not me who froze.
Now I'm back. Now we're back.
Hey, good. I'm glad you're back. All right. So you were talking in your personal life, you were making
bad decisions.
Okay.
I was, after my second divorce, I just kind of started the downward spiral. And in my professional life, I was working all the time. I was a workaholic, and I would bring home work at night and on weekends and work. And there was one day when it was like, I can't keep this up. I don't want to keep this up. There has got to be something better.
Yeah.
And then I also had some family members who had some physical health problems. So it was probably those physical health problems that, my grandmother had a stroke, my mother had breast cancer, and those problems got me to go, I think I want to see an acupuncturist. And all of my coworkers were like, what? Needles? They use needles? Is it covered by our insurance? Like, they have.
Is it covered by insurance? That's the first question always.
Yes. And I still wanted to see an acupuncturist, right? I was like, I'm sure that this is going to be worth it. And that really started opening doors, because acupuncture, right, is one of these specialties that really kind of crosses the bridge from physical to emotional, right? So when you are going in for a physical health concern, you find some internal shifts as well.
Yeah.
And from that, right, it starts to have a ripple effect.
Yes, yes, yes. And we just had somebody posted in the Facebook, hello, I'm so glad you're watching us live. She said, I wouldn't be alive if I didn't strike out on my own to find wellness and health at age 18, 2 years of working unsuccessfully with Western medicine. I'm so grateful. So Camille Leon, you had to get broken for you to create this amazing thing. So let's go here. So you were broken, divorced twice, no kids, workaholic. How did you turn it around?
Well, so first I went to that acupuncturist, then I went to a hypnotherapist.
Mm.
In the mix of all that, I also saw a chiropractor, right? And then I started connecting with what I refer to as the more esoteric specialist.
Mm-hmm.
Mainstream America, you say energy medicine and they say, what?
Yeah.
So, so I think of acupuncture and chiropractic and essential oils and herbs as the gateway techniques. And then once people get through those gateway techniques, they start exploring more. And that was basically the path I took. Now, part of the reason for the Holistic Chamber of Commerce showing up the way it does is that everybody's path is going to be different. Some people aren't going to start with acupuncture. They're going to start with chiropractic, or they're going to start with hypnotherapy, right? We all have a different starting place. So our online member directory gives you access to all of the possible starting places. So you can find the one that's going to be best for you. And once you figure out the starting place for you, right, then you get to spread your wings, and start looking for more. Are you coming back?
Yes, I'm coming back, but you were speaking.
Don't worry, I just kept talking.
Come on in, I'm on Zoom. No. Yes, I'm here. I had you on I had you on full view because I wanted people to hear you.
You're so good.
Yes. So it's about really seeking out your own starting point, whether it's emotional freedom technique, we've all heard of tapping, whether it's hypnotherapy, which, by the way, when you look at behavioral therapy, hypnotherapy, and psychological therapy, out of those three, the only one that has an efficacy rate above 50% is hypnosis. So hypnotherapy has a 92% efficacy rate. So, and people don't they think it's hocus pocus or it's the devil coming through, but it really is your way of getting quiet and going inside, and it really works. It really works, doesn't it?
It really does. And, neuro-linguistic programming. Some people use NLP. I know some brilliant access consciousness experts. There are options for all of us. And you just kind of one day, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, you wake up and you go, I need something new. I need something different. And it's not going to be another pill. Or if it's another pill, it's a vitamin pill.
Right. It's a supplement to add to. Right. And I know that on the website you have a free guide to with holistic approaches to health and wellness. So make sure you go there and get it at the holisticchamberofcommerce.com. So Camille, for you, was there a defining moment where you said, okay, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore? Like, what was that defining moment for you?
Oh, I can't believe it. I was with a man, actually, probably within 2 weeks. I was with, two different men, both of them just bad. Not that, so they were not physically abusive to me, neither of them. So, because domestic violence was way in my past, not actually in that part of my past. And I woke up the next day and I was like, no more. I've got to shift this gear. And there are 8 billion people in this world. Some of them are living a rich, luxurious life. How do I get headed in that direction? And by the way, I'm headed in that direction. And I am more living that life every single day. Yay!
So it sounds like it was a choice.
It was a choice. And it is still very often a choice. I'm moving forward. I'm not going back to what used to work because it wasn't really working. A good day now is better than, or a bad day now is better than a good day was back then.
Back then, yeah. So how long ago now did you start the chamber? How long has it been running?
So we started in 2010.
So that's 14 years.
13 and a half. We started in October.
Wow.
So we're at 13 and a half right now. We made it through that worldwide hiccup, whatever you want to think it was about. It was definitely a hiccup. And so one of the things I say at Holistic Chamber of Commerce is mind, body, spirit, business, budget, planet. Because we do tend to think of health in terms of our body or our mind, right? Physical health, mental health, emotional health. But I got to tell you, financial health is part of the whole ball of wax. And right, women who are staying in bad relationships because that's how the bills are paid. Mm-hmm. That's how we pay rent. That's how we get food on the table. It's short-sighted to pretend that money doesn't play a role, but it's not the only thing that's relevant, right? I also know very wealthy people who just have no love in their life. And that was part of it, was my love and money balance was non-existent.
Out of whack. Well, and plus you had all the societal messages coming to you, because we talked about this, you and I both made decisions in our lives that we didn't want to have our own children. Yet when you're a woman who's 35 years old or better, people are looking at you like, why don't you have kids?
Yeah.
So that choice pigeonholes you into someone who's chosen lack. But that's not the case for me. I have the richest life, and I'm a kick-ass aunt. I'll tell you what. right?
Yeah. I'm a kick-ass aunt as well, and it is the perfect role for me. And you actually, so there are in this whole journey of life, right? There are two things going on. There are the stories that the world around has that they may be applying to you, but there are also the stories in your head, right?
Right.
Both of my divorces were, it was good. If I was still married to either of those guys, it would be ugly. But the story is your second divorce, like, you haven't been successful. You might have a great career, but you haven't been successful at creating that relationship.
Yeah.
Now, the world has changed since way back then, right? So I do think there are more open doors and more open attitudes about creating a life that really is suited to who you are. But if you're not happy where you are, then there are doors and windows that you can open. And that was really like, I wanted to open those doors and windows, not just for myself, but for everybody else.
And all of the things that you did to support yourself in your own growth from feeling broken, divorced twice in a society that's okay with one. We all say get that first marriage out of the way, right? But the second one is like, oh, what's wrong? Forget about it. If the third, when I got married, we went to get our marriage license. And the woman behind the window looked at me and she goes, okay, your second marriage. And she wrote everything down. And she looked at my husband. She goes, and your fourth marriage? She said it like that. Like she was so judgmental. But yeah, people are so judgmental. So not only are you listening to those messages from outside, but then your own head starts to take over. Maybe they're right. Maybe there is something wrong with me. Maybe I'm not lovable. Maybe nobody can live with me. Maybe I'm too challenging. Maybe I'm too controlling. Maybe I'm too this, maybe I'm too that. And that's where the techniques that you use, especially the hypnotherapy, the acupuncture, I mean, all of those things taking care of yourself turned it around for you. Isn't that it?
Yeah. And so my go-to now is massage. Like, got stress, get to a massage therapist, right?
Yeah.
And all of those other techniques are still available when I need them, right? And I live in a world filled with people. So part of the point is, how do I make sure that more people also have easy access to the options,
And that's where the directory comes in. So when I go to Holistic Chamber, there'll be a directory button I can just push and put in the modality I'm looking for. Is that how that works?
You can search by category. So categories, they're a little more general because let me tell you, there are hundreds of modalities. I mean, just if you were talking about yoga, I could name probably 10 different forms of yoga right off the bat.
Therefore, I only know 3.
Oh,
that's okay. You don't have to go down.
Now, but so you can search by keywords, you can search by category, you can search by location, because if you're going to an acupuncturist or a chiropractor, especially, right, there are just some techniques where you need to go in person, and others are available
virtually,
by phone. And of course, if you're just looking for essential oils or herbs or a product, a lot of those are available for online purchase. So
yeah, it's so fascinating that energy work can be done long distance. That is just, and I know that it works because I've had it myself. So on the Holistic Chamber, when you go to Holistic Chamber of Commerce, you'll get a pop-up, and the free guide is Holistic Approaches to Health and Wellness. So that will give you some idea of the types of things you can have for the types of situations you're dealing with.
Yes, exactly. And it's only, I think it's about a 10-page booklet. Let's open the door for you. let's give you some ideas as to where to start. It is not the definitive guide to all of the possibilities out there. It is we're opening this door, and then come back to our directory. And we also have couple of article sections on our website. One is for health and wellness, and the other is for business growth, because that's the other half of the pie.
Yep.
If people can't find a holistic professional near them, it may be that holistic professional is busy and not paying attention to the business end. So we also want the like-minded business support, the holistically aligned communities like Women's Prosperity Network, holistically aligned webmasters and social media support, right? And imagine this, attorneys. Because when you're really doing big stuff, you might have to get some contracts in place for those high-level relationships, right?
Absolutely. And there's intellectual property to protect and trademarks and all of those things. One of the things I love about you and the organization, Camille, is that you recognize that when it comes to healers, no matter where they're doing it, oftentimes it's I just want to help people that gets in the way of them actually earning money to continue helping people. And I know that the chamber supports people in shifting to see that money is just a vehicle to continue your work, right?
Okay, this is a big button. So first of all, if you are giving it away for free, then you're assuming one of two things. You're either assuming that the person you're talking to can't afford it. Stop assuming such a negative thing about all of the people you're talking to, or you're assuming that they wouldn't pay for it, which is you disvaluing what you do, the thing that made such a huge difference in your life. And if you devalue it that way, then of course they're going to devalue it. And and here's another thing. So the people who have plenty of time to say yes to your freebies, they're not busy. They probably don't have money to pay for your upsell. The people who don't have time have plenty of money. And if you put a price tag on it, they might see the value of spending their time and their money that way. So it's just a big button for me. You go to your standard Western medical doctor. They're not giving you a freebie. If you're getting a free treatment, it's because you're paying for your insurance on a monthly basis. So it's not a free treatment.
And when you go to the doctor, you don't say, "Can you give me a discount?"
No.
That's the other thing. Why do you think you would discount your services?
Can we do an exchange?
Why can we barter? No.
So it's and I totally understand where our members are coming from, or where the practitioners are coming from when they are tempted to give it away that way. So a standard doctor, I won't say they never give anything away for free. They do pro bono time in the pro bono clinic, only available on the weekends. And if you want that freebie, you got to sign up and say, "Hey, I'm broke."
Right.
Sorry. Right.
Yeah.
I really want people to step into their power, step into their grace, step into, it's a little cliche, but step into your best life.
Absolutely. And if we don't charge for it, it will not get the respect it deserves. That's the bottom line. We're just going to be a bunch of woo-woos giving away free services.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm on your bandwagon, my friend. I'm singing your song because this is a viable, valuable piece of putting it all together for mind, body, spirit.
Yeah, look, people find the money to shop at Whole Foods. So they can probably find the money to have a session with you or get one of your multi-session packages.
Absolutely.
How are you presenting it? Which is the business side of the coin. So mind, body, spirit, business, budget, planet.
Love it. I love it. Camille Leon, you are a rock star. I so appreciate you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being totally transparent. You know, you see Holistic Chamber of Commerce and you see, wow, Camille created this 14 years ago and it's been going for 14 years. Okay, so that right there, pat yourself on the back, sister, because you know to stay in business that long takes real commitment and real leadership. But we're all human and we all come from our issues. And Camille had, a bottom of her life, turned it around and created this, but it doesn't mean it ends there. She still has those issues that come up. They pop up and the services are available. So I urge all of you to go to the Chamber of Commerce website, to get your free guide, to reach out and make some connections. And remember, you don't have to be a holistic practitioner to be a part of the Holistic Chamber. You just have to be someone who serves those people. Women's Prosperity Network is aligned 100%. And that's one of the reasons why Camille and I work together and we refer people to each other, because it all works together. So Camille, thank you so much for being with us today. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And I look forward to checking into the chat on this later today. So we can all be connected.
Yes. So thank you for all your comments. Thank you, Camille, for being with us. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Be Real, Get Real from Women's Prosperity Network. And if you're not yet a member of Women's Prosperity Network, you can join for free at the website. Dip your toe in, see if it's for you. We have all kinds of ways to come together as a community. There you can network, you can mastermind, you can grow, you can make connections, and you can be seen as the expert that you are. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. Camille Leon, thank you. Go forth and prosper, and I appreciate everything you are doing to give legitimacy and respect to people in the holistic field. Thank you. My pleasure. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. We'll see you again next week with another episode of Be Real, Get Real. Bye-bye.